Ran, Kevin can't join us today. He's got no internet. We've had a lot of snow and ice up here in Washington and Oregon, so his electricity is out, including his internet. So he texted Annie on his phone, but he's got no internet, so it's just us chickens today. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we were working on move number two. Let's go ahead and do the first two moves a couple of times just to warm up a little bit. Now you. Good. Okay, let's go through move number 2. And there are different ways you could divide it, but we're going to have to pick one way to practice. So let's take a look at the yin and yang cycles within this second move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 parts in there. And definitely some decision making in there. Let's go through the 12 parts and talk about what the Xinyi is for each of them. So the Xinyi is the intention, the mental intention. The first one is a strike. Doesn't seem like a big strike, but it could be. It could just be with one hand or both hands. All right. Now, usually when you do it, you don't do the strike. You don't do the Fajin. It's just up and then down. But the thing about knowing there's a strike there is you know what to do with your hands. Your hands don't do this. That's not correct. What it should look like is this. So there's a roll, right? And now the second one, that's a china. You could divide that move into 2 yin and yang cycles, but I think we'll just keep it really simple and make it 1. So it's going to be a china. So where's the china? Right at the end. Watch. I've got your wrist, I've got hold of your wrist, and I've got your elbow. All right? Watch this. Watch the X. One. 2, 3. What's the difference between 2 and 3? It's just how you get into it. They're both china. One of them comes underneath, one of them comes from on top, but they both end up being the same thing. All right. Underneath, on top. Either way, they're the same thing. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me see you do it. Good. Okay, let's go on to number 4. Number 4 is a little more complex. Actually, we might have to divide that into 2. There's actually this move here. There's actually 2 parts to that move, and each of them actually is a yin and yang cycle. So let's divide number 4 into 4 and 5. 1. So what are you doing there? Suppose somebody's punching at you, right? You intercept the punch, and you've got them by the wrist. They're already coming in this direction. So you just continue to pull them in this direction. It's just instead of hitting your nose, they're going to go right on past you. And then you come right up underneath their elbow. And in real life, when you do this, you've got a choice. You can break the guy's elbow very, very easily just by keeping the elbow exposed. But you might not want to break his elbow. So instead of just pulling it across straight, you twist it. And that will twist his arm, and then you roll his arm. Might break his elbow, but you probably going to save his elbow. Boom. Well, what'll happen is he'll go over and down. Boom. So that's the first chin-up. One. The second one goes out here and then twists like this. Twist, twist. So there's really 2 in that little section of movement there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now watch the feet, because the movement of the feet on 4 and 5 really help to power the movement. Right? 1. Right? You're going to move the body. 1. And then the second one, you turn and open, and your weight now should be on this leg. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see you do it. All right? The danshin is turning like this. All right? It's turning. Turn. Turn. That's what turns your arm. This turns. And so your arm turns. And this other arm turns too. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. And call the numbers out.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good. All right. Let's go on from there. The next move, basically you're pushing in this direction here. So you're pushing like that. Someone's running at you. You just wanna push them. All right? Leg up, push. Now the leg up. Excuse me. The leg up is a complication, and we're going to kind of ignore it. The leg up is really something like this. It's actually part of this move. It's part of this move, and then you surround them. All right? And you push, and they trip over your leg. But we're going to ignore that. All right? So instead, you're just lifting and you're putting the foot down in order to power that push to the right. Boom. Then sink. When you sink, your quad needs to open. Watch. Now, when you come forward here, you have to sink now in the left quad. Sink in the right quad, sink in the left quad. And then come over your own thigh and then back again. watch my hands. This is 1, this is 2. Watch. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but only a little bit. 1, 2. They don't go together. No, you're too much together. And then the next move is to clear the left knee. So someone is kicking at your left knee, right? So they're kicking at your left knee. You need to block that kick. You don't want them to kick you in the knee. But to block a kick like that with just your arm is almost impossible. You have to use your body. 1, 2, 2. It's your body. One, 2. Sink. And the body, it's the body that's doing it. Good. And then come up and begin to come back. And then you walk through. Somebody's arm. You come up right under their elbow. Sink in the right quad. Now sink in the left quad. 1, 2. Sink in the right quad again. Sink in the left quad. Walk through. Relax. 1, 2. And then pull back. 1, 2. And pull back. So suppose somebody is coming along and they've got hold of you here on your arm. What you do is you come up on top of them and then roll backward. That will pull them over to your side. One, 2. Pull them over to your side. And what that does then is bring all your weight, brings your waist around, brings your weight here, All right, so you're winding up here on this side, and that's going to bring this arm over to the side just passively. I'm not even really sort of doing anything with my arm. It just comes there. That sets up the next move. One, two, pull back, wind up, stretch silk, and Buddha's warrior. Okay, let's go through the whole movement there. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there's 13, and maybe you could say 14, but let's say 13 yin and yang cycles in that second move. Let me see you do them. Count them out.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
13. Good. Okay, so what is a yin and yang cycle? It's compression and expansion. It's inhaling and exhaling. It's the basic movement for Tai Chi. So another colloquial way of saying it is winding up and hitting. It's yin and yang. Yin is winding up. All right? It's drawing in. It's winding up. All right? And then yang is hitting outward. So first there's bringing in, and then there's going out. Breathe in, breathe out. Gather energy, expend energy. All right? So that's the yin and yang cycles mark the rhythm within the Tai Chi forms. If you don't know the yin and yang cycles are there, how are you going to determine when to breathe and how to breathe? How are you going to know when to bring energy in and for energy to come out? So let's do this move one more time and think about the breathing. Now, even here, you have to make decisions, but let's go through and then you can see why. All right? Breathe in, breathe out. 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 So the reason I say you have to make decisions, you can see there are places in there where you would be breathing so fast that it would be uncomfortable. So it might be that you only breathe in and breathe out every other cycle. But you just have to be conscious. You have to be conscious of that as you do it. You have to make decisions. The sword form is a difficult form, and it's difficult for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons has to do with stepping. All right, how you how you manage your footwork. So when you learn the sword form, you only sort of learn the real basics of it, and then as time goes on, you have to work out the stepping for yourself. How does the stepping go? Because if you don't have the stepping right, everything up above the rest on the stepping is going to be a little wonky. And some people get it and some people don't. It's the same with the breathing. Some people sort of get the breathing naturally, other people work it out. Some people never really quite get it very well. But to me, the secret to the breathing has to do with the yin and yang cycles. Because every time you're gathering energy, you breathe in. And then when you're pushing energy out, you breathe out. The only time you might do something different is when there's a whole bunch of cycles really quick, and then you might judge them just a little bit differently. Okay, let me see you. Let's do it. Let's do both moves together, move 1 and move 2, and then I'll have you do them separately. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 8 in the first, and at least as we've counted them there, 13 in the second. So 21 total in just the first 2 moves. So if you take an average of 12, That's 288 cycles in this form. We'll count them. It won't come out to that, but it'll be something like that. That's a lot. That's a lot to know. 288 different pieces. But if you don't know those, you don't know the building blocks of what it is you're doing. The Xin Yi, what we just described is the Xin Yi. Right? What are you doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? Each of those is something. You're actually doing something. So you have to structure your body so it actually works. 1, 1. If you can't snap that energy, you haven't got the move. Okay. I'm sorry Kevin couldn't join us today, but hopefully he will watch the video of this and get the basics of this move. We'll review it next week, but I want to go on to move number 3 next weekend, right? Any questions?
Need to practice.
Okay. All right, you practice, all right? We'll see you in this class next week, all right?